This is going to be a little bit behind that, but once this, go back.
Good evening, everybody. This is Season 7, Episode 5 of the CatchMark SportsNet podcast, brought to you by our title sponsor, Chris Wink, realtor for Century 21 Trophy Class. It is Sunday, May 5th, 2024. I'm Myles Welch, one of the hosts of this podcast. I'm joined by co-host Scott DeCamp. How are we doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for taking the wheel on this one. You're 16 years old now, right?
Yeah.
You're able to drive on your own.
And host podcasts on my own.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess. Let's welcome our featured guest, Jamar Hill and MKhi Guy. How are we doing, fellas?
Good. How about you?
MKhi Guy, Muskegon QB, who led his team to state championship last year, and Jamar Hill, defensive standout from Whitehall. Should be a fun podcast, but let's take a second to thank our sponsors. First up, Big Stone Therapies, Rescue 2.0 LLC, Grieve Law, Edwin Jones with financial advisor Brett Atkins, Coldwell Banker, Woodland Schmidt with David Dusenberry, Farm Bureau Insurance, the Kenny Agency, 5-star real estate leaders with Matt Parker, the Birdhouse, Sheed Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, Green Ridge Realty with Chris Dykman, Sierra Real. Special thank you to our title sponsor, Chris Wink.
It's okay, man.
Realtor for Century 21 Trophy Class. Let's start us out with MKhi Guy. Just talk to our viewers. Give us a little background. Where are you from? Senior year this year, etc.
I'm from Muskegon. I'm born in Muskegon. I live in Muskegon Heights. Of course, I'm a senior at Muskegon, quarterback and safety there. Played point guard for the basketball team as well. Come back from a great culture over there, powerhouse football team, great basketball team. We have great athletic programs, and it's just a great environment to be in. If I'm being honest, I just love what they bring, like family, culture, all that. It's just something that you're gonna always remember and come back to when you're gone. So I think they prepared me.
When you guys just solidified it, with what you did. And even if you didn't win the state title, I mean, just the way you guys do things, the way you do things, defining student athlete, because you're on the student advisory council for MHSA. That's huge. And then exciting things in the district with the new middle school. I don't know if you guys have seen it. That thing is gorgeous.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah.
I promise Myles is hosting, so I need to shut up more. So go ahead, Myles.
Yeah. So MKhi, you obviously play football and basketball, but you're going to Wayne State to play football. What keeps you motivated in football?
What keeps me motivated in football, like while I'm playing, is just I think it's just scoring touchdowns, making great plays. Of course, at Hackley Stadium is definitely the fan base and how loud it is and under those lights. So I mean, we had so many great people that came out of Muskegon. So I think what give me a lot of confidence is trying to be at that level as the people that left and built the culture. I'm trying to keep that legacy going. So I think that's what kept me motivated, was to gotta just bring it each and every play and every night.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Big Red football, what would you say your favorite memory of Muskegon football would be?
All of them. There's so many memories, like even outside of just playing football or playing basketball or being at Muskegon. It's like that off season is crazy. Of course, winning a state championship and stuff like that. I mean, that's a big moment for me because I still haven't even watched that game yet. So like I can't do it yet. It still feels like that's crazy. But definitely all the memories. I can go back from day one, even with COVID and the off season with that. So like I just love every piece and every memory that they gave me and left with me.
No, and I was working for M Live when they redid the stadium. It's just unreal now. Like it's always been historic because it's been there such a long time. There's so much history, so many great players that have come through there, so many great games. But then they did what they did, with the turf, redid the stands, resurfaced them, put up that brick wall, which just gives it such a classic look. You were in the Get Mauled camp there, Jamar. What was it like just kind of going up against not just the Big Reds, but maybe other schools, and just being in that stadium and working out?
Dude, it's awesome. It's definitely a nice place. It was just a really good camp. Dude, like Coach Bowles, like he's crazy. He has some like struggles for sure. I mean, he got after us. It was like nothing. Like you had to be like on your game that day, or see you'd get like ate up. It was a really good camp though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamar, we got Malcolm Irvin in the comments saying what's up to you.
What up, Mac? What up?
Yeah,
congrats on that record.
Malcolm's probably still cooling down from that school record 200 he just ran the other day. So
GMAC tournament. So
yeah.
And then MKhi, you play basketball as well. So how does basketball complement football?
See, like as I say, at Muskegon, everything is year round. So like what you do for football, you do for basketball. What you do for basketball, you do for football. Of course, you're gonna have the great coaching. You're gonna have the relationship. You're gonna have everything you need, like college-based, like locker room wise. You're gonna have all the gear you need. I promise you, like, if I was to just compare, it's hard, is what I'll say. It helps me, of course, like with seeing the floor, like in-game stuff. It definitely helped me with getting teammates open, being a better leader as well, because it's only 5 on the court at the time, but in football it's 11. Mm-hmm. So you got to be able to be vocal and loud. So it helps me with a lot of things in football. But other than that, everything is really in kind of like the same, if I'll say so.
There's so many connections there at Muskegon with football and basketball. They have the same ideals. They kind of go about their business the same way. In fact, like I don't know if you guys saw their turnaround in the football game. They were down at halftime, and then all of a sudden just flipped that switch. And the question was, what would you guys do? What was said at halftime? And so Keith Guy is his uncle, is MKhi's uncle, and apparently he gave a pretty rousing speech at halftime. I mean, what do you recall about that? What did he say? How did he say it, I guess, too?
He came in the locker room. So first off, before he said something, we had another great leader say something, and that was Destin Piggy, after Coach Fairfield said something. And when KG came in the locker room, he was like, this isn't the Big Red way. And my thing was I just needed us to settle down, because there was some guys that was making mistakes that normally don't ever make mistakes. Mm-hmm. And KG was like, we didn't drive all this way to get out tough. And, like, it wasn't the coaching. It was just us playing the bigger way, as what we say. And he was like, we just need to play tougher and don't just let them punch us in the mouth and we don't punch back. And that's pretty much what he said, was to go out there, play hard, whatever you do. Don't let nothing be, or don't let them take anything away that you work for. And I think we came out with that energy that he left with us, because he came out, he was routed up, and we loved every piece of it. And I think that helped us a lot, definitely, because we came out playing tougher and we executed on the little things. That's all it was. It wasn't no game plan, exiting those. We didn't drop a play. We didn't do nothing in the locker room like that. It was just all come back out and play tough, play fast, and play your game.
It's a mentality. Look like, did you guys see that game or not?
Yeah, I watched it. Not at Ford Field, but I watched it.
Right. And, I mean, the way they were coming out hitting, I mean, MKhi was coming up and just hammering guys. So they didn't want to catch the ball anymore. The whole thing, just that whole thing, I don't even know what to say, the whole feeling of that game, complexion of that game changed. And I think a lot of it was because of Muskegon's physicality in the second half.
Yeah. So now shift a little gears here. Introduce our other featured guest, Jamar Hill. Just a little background about you. Where are you from?
I was born in Muskegon and moved to Whitehall in 3rd grade.
So you're part of a Whitehall football team the last 2 years. The first year, your junior year, went all the way to the regional final, and then this last year, unfortunately, lost to Big Rapids. What was the experience been like at Whitehall?
It was great. It's honestly like it's like a cliche, but it's like a brotherhood. Honestly,
yeah.
It's like people that I can talk to the rest of my life, and they're family to me. Obviously, it didn't go how we wanted it to go, but there was just some things that we should have fixed, we should have worked on, and I guess we just didn't get the job done. So,
I mean, it happens, but like those experiences, you'll remember for the rest of your life. So,
one thing I liked, it was brought up in the press conference at Ford Field. Coach Fairfield said it. He goes, "We could have lost, we could have won. This does not define these guys. Hopefully, this is one of the highlights of their lives, but this shouldn't be the defining moment." And I would say the same thing to you. and your Whitehall teammates. I mean, yeah, it sucks because you guys had big goals. I mean, you guys were even closer your junior year when you had South Christian. You could have won that game, and I think you probably could have won the state title that year. But don't let that define you. Wins and losses don't define you. It's the character you have and integrity and all that.
Yeah, I mean, and then Coach Sig is a great coach, and then Whitehall football. How has it shaped your career and got you going for the next level?
It definitely. I think it's getting me right, Coach Sig. Especially like I could talk about him all day. He's like a father to me. Like just the stuff that he does for us, like that nobody knows about. Like I see him every day painting the weight room and all that, and just putting in work, spending his own money and time. And so I guess in that kind of aspect, makes me a better man. I mean, it's like I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of hard to like answer that. I mean, I think it's made me a better person for sure.
Do they charge you rent for living in the weight room? Because that's basically where you live, right?
A little bit. Not really. No.
I mean, tell us a little bit about the. You went a little bit viral with your bench press, 225 reps. What happened with that? And if you can kind of take it too, Myles, whatever specific questions you got on that too.
Yeah. So I mean, first off, what was it? What was the video?
It was a video of me hitting 225 for 50.
That's insane. The combine record's what, 51?
51, yeah.
So what? I mean, I think I checked the other day. Was it at over 500,000 views, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what was your initial reaction to that?
At first, I was going to bed and it was like it had like 300 views and nothing much. And then like I woke up the next morning and I was like looking at my phone and I had like 200,000 views with like 500 likes. So I was like, dang, this can like keep going. And then later that day, I saw you at school actually, and it was at like 400,000 and just kept going and going and going. So.
And then there's a pretty big name who reposted it, right?
Yeah, Wisconsin's running back Braylon Allen. He just got drafted by the Jets.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jets. So.
What did he say on that again?
Oh, he was like, "You're gonna be at 100 by the time of the next combine." I was like, "That's crazy." It was cool.
So when in your mind did you tell yourself that you can hit 50?
I didn't even, bro. I'm not like it was supposed to, I just woke up that day and I was like, I might as well go. It's been a while since I did it. I mean, I just wanted to go for it. My last time,
50.
I think I hit it for like 32, and then I just got bored and I hit it, and then it was like 50. I was like, dang. Like after I got to like 40, it was like, okay, like I'm a little tired, but I feel like I had 10 more, so I went and I hit it.
But that's the mindset, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, MKhi, on that video?
It was crazy because like we actually was talking about that at school and it hit our football group chat and a couple other group chats and it was like, did he just hit 50 or 225? And we was like, yeah, that's crazy. And we was like, but we knew you were capable. We didn't know you was gonna touch 50, but we knew what you were capable of. I mean, I'm capable of course, since the summertime. And I mean, you gave us a hard time. We gave us the looks that we needed. We gave you the looks that you needed as well. So it was just that we was just like, that's crazy. And then. So the other day when we saw, because we was already talking about like, oh yeah, we got to get them to Wayne, and they hit in the group chat, in the Wayne State group chat, we was like, I said we got to steal. So I mean that's some things you can't teach, some things you can't do, but I mean that's the hard work and the mindset that you get to be able to hit it 50 times, honestly.
Yeah, and being around that Muskegon Big Reds culture, sorry about that, Myles. The weight room. I mean, you walk in that weight room, it's just different than a lot of other weight rooms you walk in. And it's not the weights, it's not the walls, it's not all that. It's the work being put in, and it's the mindset. And it's year-round. I mean, if you're not doing it year-round, then you're going to be falling behind. So, but how has that kind of become that way at Whitehall, too, you think? Because obviously it's been that way at Muskegon for a long time, but Whitehall seems like that's starting to change a little bit.
So it was kind of slow, like my freshman year, but I think it really started coming around after we lost to South Christian last year. It was kind of a wake up call. Like we do this. We deserve to be here. We just got to put in that work. And everybody started coming together. I mean, there's people lifting after school every day now, and I don't know. I just think people are kind of starting to get that sense like, oh, we got to work for this. We can do it. Like we saw them, how far they got. We want to be better than that. So that's kind of how it like shaped that.
Yeah, and then soon after that video, you announced your commitment to Wayne State, and then MKhi, you've been committed for a little bit. So question to both of you guys: why Wayne State? Why did you guys choose Wayne State
You want to go first? Go first.
Yeah, you want to go first?
It don't matter.
I got it real quick. For me, it was just like an obvious place. It was just a pick. Like their coaches hit me up and like I had a conversation with him for about an hour. Coach Sims. It was just he felt like me and him just related so much. And I've been on campus a couple times. It was cool and all that, but it was just that coach right there, like Coach Sims, like he just felt like a father, like already. And I barely know the guy yet, but it was just that. I mean, somebody that gave me a chance. All I needed is a chance, and then he's the guy that gave me that chance. So it's easy.
So with me, it actually was a couple coaches, Coach Bird, Coach Wheatley, of course, and Coach DeMasi. The relationship that they bring from the get-go, like first impression means a lot. And I felt like the first impression with me was like all I needed. Because, of course, coming through Muskegon culture, you got great coaches and you have great relationships. And that was my main thing. I was like, I don't want to go nowhere where I'm not loved and I'm not getting the same type of feeling that everybody is getting. Like they're trying to build a culture. And another thing, too, was that they have the same mindset as a winning mindset. They was like, we bringing in a lot of winners, and we feel like you can help build our program, and that's what I wanted. And of course, they did what they had to do. Of course, I like the offer that they offered me, and I just felt like it's going to be a great place for me as well.
Do you know what you guys are going to study yet, or no?
I'm studying law.
Nice.
Yeah, criminal justice.
Sweet. So, there's a few things that impressed me about, well, more than a few that impressed me about both of you guys, and you too, Myles. So you're part of this too. But this didn't even have anything to do with football, even though I love the way that you carried yourself in football. But one thing that really stood out to me, and it was probably one of your tougher moments, was when you lost it to Zeeland West in basketball in the quarterfinals. I was there watching it and getting photos and stuff, and you took the heave at the end of the game. You were the first one in line to shake their hands, which some people might not notice it, but to me, that's a leader. That's the way that you should carry yourself. So, I mean, did that even occur to you, or do you that's just kind of what you do, and that's just the person you want to be?
All of the above is my answer to that. I had a lot of great role models. I have a lot of great people that surround me with being a leader. And also, like, the biggest thing to me with that game, like, of course we lost that game, but I was more of that relationship with the team. And I wanted to always show the younger guys how things are supposed to be done, what's supposed to be said, and to be their big brother. And that's what I wanted to be based off of. I got to lead a place better than how I found it. So, I mean, I didn't even realize that I was the first person to shake hands. But I mean, that's just what leaders do. Some things we don't see that other people notice. So that's just something that I always make sure I can show my younger brothers is better opportunities and better ways to do things, even when we take the loss. Because you got to lose to learn to win. That's what I say. So
there's another cool thing that happened last year. I think it was last year in football. Didn't you have to hand the trophy to the winning team?
Yep. So when you're in the part of the MHSAA Student Advisory Council, you can every SAC member can present a trophy to in every division of football, and then they do basketball. So of course I was like, we're gonna make it to the championship. So I was gonna do it, but they was like, even if you lose, you got to give it to the other team. That hurt definitely.
But then you came back this year
and got to present it to my team.
Both trophies, right?
Both trophies
to the losing team and your own team.
Yes.
I mean, how special was that?
It was a great feeling. Just seeing my coaches smile, my teammates, the fans. Because that game was just so crazy because we were down. And we came back and made history. So, I mean, it was a feeling that it's hard to explain because that's just how great it was. And, I mean, being able to do that, a lot of people don't get a chance to do that. So me being there, I'm thankful. I thank God for every opportunity that I had and every opportunity that he gave me to be able to do those type of things. So it just feels great.
And with you, Jamar, you're the type of guy that wears his heart on his sleeve. And that's just you, right? Is that basically how you've been all the way coming up, or what do you think maybe brought that out in you and just to be you? That's just who I am. That's who I want to be.
Yeah, I kind of feel like kind of starting to get like recruiting and all that. It was just like undersized and all that, so it was just like the heart over height, and it was just I live by that. So I think that kind of brought it out, like the way I am, like how emotional I get. It's like I work so hard for everything, and I don't know,
You get overlooked.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it sucks. And there's multiple people, like especially West Michigan. I think there's some dudes that should like deserve to be on D1 rosters and all that, and they just don't get that opportunity because it's just West Michigan, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think that's why you see like a lot of JUCO guys moving their way up onto like D2 and then even D1 sometimes. So I think that's the tough thing about sports is, you know, like God made you the way you are, so you kind of just have to have the right mentality to play at the next level.
I think Kyle Stratton's another guy who maybe, I mean, I don't know what level he can play at. I mean, I don't, but, you know, sometimes kids don't get a chance just because of their stature.
Yeah.
But the nice thing now, and not saying that you guys are looking to do this, but with the portal and everything going on, if you do well at a certain level, people are looking, and there might be other opportunities. You might not want them. You might want them. I don't know, but that's just the landscape's a lot different now.
Yeah, and speaking of the portal and NIL is another thing. What kind of you guys had any NIL opportunities at Wayne State yet, or you guys not know?
I don't know for sure about what they bring with the school, but I've been in connection with a couple people thinking about NIL. I don't want to speak on that too much because I don't know how they feel about that. But I know we had it in communication-wise, but it is a person in Muskegon that is doing NIL stuff for athletes as well, though. So whatever happens, happens.
Yeah,
They might be coming to high school soon too, sooner than you think.
Okay, I'll speak on that though.
Yeah,
So being a part of the student advisory
that's
council,
great. Yeah, you.
we talk about those. So right now, so the bill is passed, but now it's like another bill that has to go through with how much this you can make or how they want to do it. So I think what the MHSAA is doing is trying to find out their own rules first, because you know there's so much going on with the politics and stuff. So it's hard for the state to pass it. So they're trying to figure out their own rules so it don't mess up student athletes and schools and eligibility with going to school as well. So they're trying to figure that out. So whenever that happens, it should be opening up in the next two, this year or the next year. So just be prepared for it. It might outbreak.
I know a certain business that might sign you doing an NIL deal, Myles.
Yeah,
Just a few doors down.
Bill's Lakeshore Golden.
So his dad owns the trading card shop down the road here.
Yeah, might have to sign you guys up for that.
Yeah.
And get in contact.
Sticking with Wayne State, what are some goals you guys are having for heading into your year one?
Obviously, I mean, there's the big one, obviously, win a natty. The GLIAC's the hardest, conference, D2 conference in the nation. But, like, personally, though, I want to get a lot of playing reps, crack the starting lineup, and just prove that I belong there. So that's my personal goals.
My thing at Wayne State, I just want to help build the culture. I mean, of course, I want to win the GLIAC because they haven't won in a couple years, past years. Then, of course, get that national championship. But I want to build a foundation to where we're a winning team. And that's where I'm from. I know how to win, and I'm a winner. So I want to be able to do that. And, of course, make personally, like, be better as a football player and get to the potential that I want to be at and not just where I am at. So I always want to be greater and make my places better than how it was.
The great thing about the GLIAC, too, is you've got programs that have already won national titles, and I think everyone else is raising their game to try to match up with, like, Ferris and Grand Valley. And I think, you know, Davenport's maybe taking some steps. Obviously, Wayne State, you know, they were, was it 2-3 years ago where they were right in the mix? They've had their moments, and I think, you know, they keep adding guys like these two guys on the show here that it's heading in the right direction. Saginaw Valley's had its moments. Michigan Tech's been solid throughout the years. I mean, there's a lot of programs that have done really well. Northwood's had some struggles, but I mean, there's good players throughout the league. And the beauty of it too is if anyone ever had aspirations of going beyond that, I mean, obviously that's not something you can guarantee ever, but they find players everywhere now. The NFL does.
I believe Grand Valley's quarterback actually just signed with the NFL team.
Yeah, Peterson kid.
Peterson, yeah.
With the Lions.
Yeah.
And I think Xavier, X from
West Ottawa?
Yeah, West Ottawa is going to
Xavier Wade, I think.
Xavier Wade, Steelers. I mean, I heard he's been talking to the Bills too. But we
Caleb.
I mean, you got KP, you know, from Muskegon. He's gotten some looks, and I still think he's still trying to work his way into it, isn't he?
Yep, I think he's
Khalil Pimpleton?
I think he's going to the XFL right now.
Okay, yeah.
But he actually is leaving this month. So I don't know where he's going.
There's Muskegon guys, you know.
Anthony Bradford's still there, so
Yeah, I mean,
Willie Snead was in the league for a while.
who's that?
Willie Snead.
Willie Snead.
Willie
You got
and I was
Tyree Jackson from Shores.
Yep.
Yep, there's some guys. Like you said, I mean, to your point, Jamar, sometimes it's hard being in West Michigan just because maybe doesn't have as much, doesn't get as much of the spotlight out there as maybe like Detroit does, but there's some great football in Muskegon County alone. I mean, it's that alone, should garner a little attention.
We actually have Mike Meekoff joining us, saying in the comments, completely agree. Too many guys in Muskegon getting overlooked. Mike Meekoff, obviously, during his time at high school, ran M7 Sports, and now he's going to Bowling Green, I believe.
Toledo. Yep, he was at Arizona State for a couple years, wanted to get back closer to home, kind of run his own thing. He wants to cover some college, pro, and high school stuff, so he's going in that corridor over there with Toledo, Detroit, maybe cover some MAC stuff, cover some...
Some Wayne State.
Yeah.
Guy.
Yep.
That's sweet.
Mike.
Yep. Now just moving forward here, Jamar, MKhi, what were the visits like at Wayne State?
It was good. I mean, they had other recruits there, so you meeting some of the guys that's signing or who was thinking about coming. You got to tour the campus. Of course, Wayne State is actually a big spread out campus, but it's like you would think it's small, but it's really, really big. That was crazy, but anyway, you just with your coaches, they showed you the different programs that they had. So like I saw the law program, which is they added like $40 million to that. So I felt like that was gonna help me, but it just felt like like home to me, like something I can get used to, I can fit in on that. And I just felt like it was great.
Jamar?
So I haven't got back in a while. So I was there like a year ago for a mega camp that they host every year. And so they kind of showed us a little bit, but I haven't been on it officially yet because it's been so late to like the recruiting game. So I'm getting up there, I think, a week from today or Friday. One of those days I'm getting up there.
So when is your orientation? Did you do yours yet?
I haven't got all that done yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's cool, too, is being right in Detroit, Metro Detroit. Detroit's coming around. It gets a bad rap, but I think you see what the Lions did, showcase the city even more, even though people who know Detroit know that there's a lot of good things to offer. Going way back, it gets a bad rap, and it really shouldn't because there's been a lot of work done to it. Right. And there's a lot of great things about it. And, also you saw the draft, too, set a record for attendance. People really support stuff down there. So if, you get some good things going like Wayne State, if that gets rolling, people are going to support it.
Yeah.
So
both of you guys again, what was the recruiting process like throughout this journey?
With me, it was very slow. Even though like I had a breakout year my junior year, people didn't really know that I played varsity football all 4 years. But it was really slow. So I had my first offer was in basketball during the summertime, this past summer. And a lot of people was like, are you going to just play basketball? But I was just waiting it out. I had a lot of coaches contact with me. I was in contact with a lot of coaches, but it was just like they wasn't sending the offer. It was very, very slow. Wayne State gave me my first football offer, and I was doing it all season as well. And I just felt like it was just very slow. And I think it was more of a height thing, honestly. Mm-hmm. But, if you check the stats and wins,
like you said before, winners win. They know how to do it, so.
Heart over height. That's what KP say.
Yep. What do you think, Jamar?
Kind of the same for him. Mine was very, very, very slow. My first offer was from Calvin, and that was like, I think it was like the second week of the football season this year. And then then Concordia came in, and I was originally like verbally committed to them for like 3 months. Then something happened with their program where they kind of like fell through a little bit, so I was like, this might not be the place for me. And then I don't know. I was done with football for a second because nobody was really hitting me up anymore. And then I posted that video, and then like Central Michigan offered me, Northwood hit me up, Ferris a little bit, and then Wayne State. But Wayne State was just, yeah.
Back to that topic of West Michigan, maybe not always getting maybe as much attention. There's still guys there though that are getting some attention, and it'll be interesting to see where things go. Obviously Isaiah Atchison over at Montague, committed to CMU. He's kind of call him a unicorn just because he's 6'8", but runs the 100 meter dash and like 11.08 was his top time.
I think he had a school record too.
He had a school record in the 200 the other day. So, but for someone at 6'8" to be able to still move his legs that fast, it's pretty amazing. But he's kind of I think he's, as weird as it sounds, kind of a diamond in the rough. I think this is an opportunity where he needs to kind of go make the most of it and give himself a shot. But Camden Thompson's another one locally that people are wondering. Okay, he plays at Division II Whitehall, Division IV in football. He's got a couple D1 offers in basketball, got a couple in football, what's his better avenue, do you think? People have different opinions on it. I think it seems like basketball is his love, but what do you think? You've seen him play.
And you also got to ask the question: is there's an opportunity to dual sport?
Mm-hmm.
I believe CMU offered him for both.
Yeah,
or they're thinking about it. So I definitely think he could. He definitely has the talent too. I think basketball is his main sport, but I think he could really go D1 in pretty much anything he does. So
well, if you watch anyone that watch the NCAA tournament and watch Oakland play, that Trey Townsen, he's 6'6".
He's going to Arizona now.
Yeah, he's transferring to Arizona in the portal, but it's that heart over height. He was dominating those Kentucky guys who are 6 inches, 7 inches taller than him. Mm-hmm. 6'6", and he's getting anything he wanted in the paint. So it just shows, if you can play, you can play.
All right. Yeah. And then, this is a podcast. We can pretty much talk about everything. Is there any other topics you guys would like to talk about?
I feel like with the the recruitment process, I think COVID year did kill a lot of recruits too, especially West Michigans too as well, because it was already hard that way. So we had we're the last year of COVID year.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to open back up for a lot of West Michigan guys. But I think that kind of hurt us and stuff like that. But now that that's open, then hopefully that helps West Michigan get be able to go further than how we are.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think that was, one of the biggest things, though, because, you could get everywhere. You can get a spot, but then as soon as you get that offer and that senior that they were thinking about leaving, he's like, oh, I'm going to use my COVID year. So, that kind of hurt us, too.
So who is more demanding, Coach Guy or Coach Fairfield?
See, it depends because, Fairfield can say something to a basketball guy, and KG can say something to a football guy. Mm-hmm. So, that's what I'm saying. It's it's no in between.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, of course, KG is the athletic director, and Coach Fairfield is the head coach of football. But I don't know. It's when KG is in his basketball season, Fairfield try to help him with his stuff. So, we're in football season, KG, of course, is doing that job. So, I don't know. It's hard. I'm telling you, you're going to get great coaching, you're going to feel the love, you're going to get the stuff that you need to hear and you don't want to hear. But, you're going to get it from both of them. So, it's I can't say, it's no in between.
No, they're cut from the same cloth. They're kind of in lockstep. They're kind of walk right along with each other, believe in the same things. And so for you, Jamar, how many times did Mr. Zierup and the wrestlers try to get you to go out for wrestling?
Bro, it was a lot. It was crazy. It was I wrestled for 3 days, lost 10 pounds. I was like, bro, I'm not doing this. But it was a lot though. Every day they'd be trying to hit me up.
Your boy Gavin Craner, did he try to work on you?
Dude, yeah. So actually, we were at one of our buddies' houses a couple weekends ago, and I was just trying to test see what I can do with my strength and all that. And then I forgot what I did. It was something stupid. I tried to shoot a double leg on him. He picked me up. I was like, bro, that's crazy.
So Gavin Craner's a kid who went to Belding last year, transferred in. He was an undefeated state champ this year at 175 pounds. Crazy though, huh? How technique matters and
crazy.
Maybe if he's not undersized. He's at his weight class, but he can compete all the way up through the divisions too, I'm sure. And he'll have some college options as well. But how crazy is it though? Because you got probably 70, 80 pounds on him, 70 pounds probably.
Yeah, it is crazy. That's my brother though, but it's crazy.
You could have been the missing piece to that squad that could have won a state championship.
I had one good move, bro, and it was a double leg blast.
I believe Jackson Cook last year he didn't wrestle until his senior year, or he might have wrestled his freshman year, and then he came out and had a pretty good season.
With his brother Shane, his twin Shane.
Yep.
Who Shane also went undefeated the year before.
Now he's at Cleveland.
And Ira Jenkins went undefeated 2 years in a row, and he's at U of M now. But so they got a long history of that. But so you guys had your prom already, right?
Yeah.
Now, you said you guys coming up, or you guys already have yours?
Our prom is May 11th.
Okay.
I went to Mona Shore's prom last week though.
Okay.
That's why I was in Detroit for today, honestly.
Oh, yeah?
I might run late, but
Nice.
How was that going to Mona Shores prom?
how was it?
Yeah, with like because I know like Mona Shores and what like Muskegon is like.
Is it really like that, or is it just football, or is it just you want to beat them on the field, but then off the field you guys are cool?
Do you want me to be completely
Yeah.
honest? Okay,
Yeah.
let me be. Let's put it on the floor. It's not a rival, because the like if you look at the record, they probably have 3 or 6 wins. I don't even want to give them 6, but I think it's that. But the real rival is Muskegon and Rockford.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you got some great people that come from Shores that you connect with. I mean, of course, I went to Shores actually in elementary school when I left Hikes, but I went there all the way up to 6th grade. And I mean, I still got some great bonds with people. I got some family over there as well. But when it come down to the sports, like we would never let them. Like we don't want to lose to Shores because, like, in our opinion, they just want to be us. I mean, I don't got. You feel me? No disrespect, like not to start nothing, but like this is being real. It's like, but it's a lot of guys over there that just like talk to us like they're so much better than us, and like they start a lot of tension. But I mean, I guess that comes with the game when you want to be top dog. So
Well, the nice thing is you get to settle it on the field or on the court.
Every time.
So people can talk all they want. I mean, on both sides of that. Like if they got something to say, then you get a chance to go prove it on the court or the floor, the football field.
So basketball, we never lost them on the shore.
Yeah, one of your coaches over there now too, right?
Yes.
So
But in football, so you know how we got the rival trophy and stuff like that. So they never got they don't have a rival hat. So like the year that they won was in COVID. They didn't get nothing. So we got all the rival hats and all the rival trophies. So I'm gonna just leave that at that.
yeah. So speaking of rivalries, you got one across the bridge, Montague. I mean, how fun is it just to win that game?
Bro, it means everything because growing up, it was, bro, they put it like, what was it, 8 years in a row they won the bell. So it's really cool. It kind of sucks though because because of COVID, we got to miss out on they did like a coin toss on the bridge over there. So that kind of sucked. But man, it was like every time I see those guys, like I'm family with all of them now. Like Adam Barry, that's my boy. Like, they're like family, but it was just like when we play each other, I hate them. Like I wanted to like.
Oh yeah. Remember doing that Madden tournament here?
Bro, we don't talk about that. I was running wing T. I was playing around. But.
And Madden?
Yeah.
Over here, so we did in the studio on the other side here, we set up the TV and had Whitehall and Montague players playing Madden against each other. Did a video on it.
Yeah. What was it?
You know who the champ was, right? You remember? Who the individual champ was?
Was it James Cloud?
James Cloud.
James Cloud.
Yep.
He used to work here, didn't he?
Yep. He was like an intern here, or like part-time.
Yeah, so we kind of touched on transfer portal for college, but I feel like it's been a little shaky in high school too. I feel like a lot of kids are transferring schools. Muskegon, James Young's going over to Muskegon this next year. How do you guys feel about high schoolers moving schools?
Well, I'll speak a little bit about James real quick. So with him, it had nothing to do with the environment change. A lot of people think he just did it for the sport of it, but honestly, it was because he was living on his legacy with his grandfather and his father. And I mean, I felt like he gonna bring a lot to the table at Muskegon as well. And people gonna see it.
What I will say about James, just knowing his family too, is they're always big on, they want to be in an environment where there's diversity. They don't want to be just pigeonholed and stuck in one spot. Like you said, they have a history at Muskegon. And there's some pretty good, not pretty good, there's not a lot. There's a little diversity at North Muskegon, but not like there's at Muskegon.
Right.
And that's the real world. When you go out, when we were in Kalamazoo, we lived in Kalamazoo for 13 years. That's where my kids were born. There was a thing called the Kalamazoo Promise, where they'd pay for all of your tuition anywhere in Michigan. They have the Muskegon Promise, but this was like even bigger because it was for a 4-year school. And Kalamazoo Public Schools has Kalamazoo Central and Loy Norix. We were thinking about sending our kids there, but we ended up moving back up here just because it's good to have diversity in your life, and that's what you see in the real world, and B, that scholarship's pretty nice too. So, but I think it's healthy.
I definitely agree to that. I mean, even when we were younger, James played basketball with us growing up all the way since a youngin.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't just like, oh no, he's new to this, or he just want to come over there because it's a winning culture. No, what he brought to North Muskegon, like they had a chance.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could go back and do that all over again if he wanted to. It wasn't that he just left because of the sports thing, and that's what a lot of people trying to make it out of.
No, I think he wants to. Him and his family want to enrich just the whole experience.
Right. So, but with how I feel like we got a high school transfer portal. It depends. It really depends on how you look at it and if you know what's real and what's not. You may say, okay, he's doing this for sports, or you may say, oh, this school is better academically. Like you would never know unless you really know the real thing about that person, that student, and that family. So, I mean, sometimes it may seem shaky, may look shaky, but I mean, it's kind of, at the end of the day, you're in high school. So, like, what you would do for your kids, you're going to give them the best opportunity for them to be successful. So, I mean, that's why I don't really go too far about the high school part.
No, that's very wise because you don't. People out there want to talk, but they don't maybe necessarily know what the reasons are.
Right.
They want to just create a narrative, but they don't really maybe know what their reasons are.
Jamar, what's your thoughts on that?
I agree 100% with what he said. I just feel like there's just a lot of reasons that I think it's not all about sports every time. Because I know, like, personally, people like I know Reese Puffer just got Mason Dart and like stuff like that. Like, not tapping into like his personal stuff, but it's just like there's personal reasons why people are transferred, and I think it's just not all sports. And I think people think it's all sports, and that's where it really gets like, okay, like he's doing this just because, like he said, like winning culture and all that. But I think it's deeper than that in most situations.
Yeah, and this is nothing new. I mean, especially look over Detroit. I mean, stuff goes on all the time. Just there's so many schools, so much stuff going on there. But really, this has gone on in a lot of places. A lot of times, people just want to be part of a winning culture, not just sports either, but just be around that mentality of those types of people.
Better environment.
But like people like Cameron Martinez, I mean, he won a state championship at Catholic and transferred to Muskegon, so it's just different. I think it's just not all about sports.
No, it's about the whole.
And a lot of things like, I know personal with that because that's my cousin, but a lot of the kids that leave and go to another school that maybe they say is better than the past school that they're at, and people just say what they want, which they have the right to, but at the end of the day, they're still high school students. So, like, they hear all that background talk, and that kind of make them feel a certain way.
Yeah.
I mean, some people can ignore it, some people can't. And I feel like at the end of the day, it's still high school, regardless if I'm trying to make this team better, or I'm joining this team, or I'm going for this school or that. But, like, I think we still need to take notice on, we're still talking about young athletes and young individuals that may not be able to take what we're saying.
Right.
So I think we need to put that to notice too.
Well, that's a really good point. You know, I graduated a long time ago. There wasn't social media and all that stuff. So you hear it all the time. People my age and maybe even a little younger, they're like, man, I'm glad we didn't have all these phones and like social media because we did stupid stuff. People have been doing dumb stuff like teenage kids stuff for a long time. And just now everyone's business is out there on phones and on social media. So that's a great point to kind of remember. Just to respect that with people. People have their decisions and have their lives, and just don't take it too far because, you know, a lot of times, like you said, MKhi, these are kids trying to figure things out.
Yeah. So we've touched on some good stuff today. Obviously, Jamar's 225 for 50. Both of you guys committed to Wayne State, NIL transfer portal, high school transfer portal. Any other closing thoughts, any of you guys?
I think here in Muskegon, we need to notice a lot more academic accolades is what I'll say. Like, yeah, of course, a lot of us be known from the sports and what we do on and off the field, on and off the courts and stuff like that. But I think a lot of people don't take notice on how a lot of us student athletes are great in school. I mean, I have a lot of academic accolades that I could announce. But I feel like a lot of that go unnoticed. They just, this jersey number by that. But, like, we're also a role model to the kids because we're doing the right thing in school and not just on the field and on the court. So I feel like we need to take notice. I don't know how we can bring that out, but I think that's something that needs to be spoken about, too.
Well, I think the new middle school that they're building will help for sure, definitely. So
No, and that's a great point. So as it relates to CatchMark, too, people think of CatchMark SportsNet and the stuff we do for sports and stuff like that with media days and just coverage and stuff like that. But we have like year-long content deals with Whitehall and Montague. So they signed on with us for us to produce certain content like media days, athlete profiles, and so forth. Well, Montague has opted to, instead of making the focus about, okay, we're going to do media days for athletes, we're going to do athlete profiles for athletes. Montague's going to, we'll do media days for the sports teams, but for these profiles, we're going to have you focus on National Honor Society, choir, Hope Squad. So, and I'm not saying one's right or one's wrong. It's not. It's all good. You're showcasing young people, which is the best part about it. But I would just say to people, because I talked to schools last year in the summer trying to say, hey, are you interested in some of this content that we're doing? Because just like any media company, people see others. I worked for MLive for almost 21 years. I was at Grand Haven Tribune right out of college. Local Sports Journal does great stuff. MuskegonSports.com does great stuff. Everyone has their thing, and everyone has to pay their bills. So people are wondering, well, why you guys charge for media days? Well, because we can't stay in business as CatchMark SportsNet if we don't pay for ourselves. So that's what we do with some of that special content we create. And I would tell any school that, well, you guys just do sports, so what about the academics? Well, we can do that too. We have a website for that called CatchMark Community, where we put all that stuff there. We have social media platforms there, just like we do for CatchMark SportsNet. So I think it is important to stress that and to give some shine to those kids too, to those groups of people.
Yeah. So finally, let's give one more shout out to our sponsors. Hopefully, I don't butcher any of them this time. So we got Big Stone Therapies, Rescue 2.0 LLC, Grieve Law, Edward Jones with financial advisor Brett Atkins, Coldwell Banker Woodland Schmidt with David Dusenberry, Farm Bureau Insurance, the Kennedy Agency, 5-Star Real Estate Leaders with Matt Parker, The Birdhouse, Sheed Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, Greenridge Realty with Chris Dykman and Sierra Real. Special thank you to our title sponsor, Chris Wink, Realtor at Century 21 Trophy Glass. And any other thoughts?
No, thanks. Good job running the show this time.
Thanks for having me.
I would say thanks for allowing me to come here.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for making it happen, you guys. It's awesome bringing you guys in here.
Yeah, have a great week, everybody, and thanks for tuning in.
All right.